Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Dylan here. We have a major bombshell about Judge Cannon that you do not want to miss. And Donald J. Trump and Jack Smith, let's just say that Judge Cannon, this is a major bombshell about this judge. And I don't know about Judge Juan Merchan and everything going down, but what I do know is that Donald Trump is now a convicted felon. And that I kind of like this convicted felon, okay? A lot of people are saying, well, hey, I support that convicted felon. So we're going to bring on Judge Cannon onto the show. But before we do, we're going to reveal the truth about this judge and get the truth out there, okay? So before we jump in, we're going to read the Bible and pray because God comes first. Amen. Comment amen down below if you believe that. Today's Bible reading is Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Amen. Comment amen down below. And now let's jump into the video. Okay, so Donald J. Trump just reacted in real time to Judge Cannon blocking DOJ from releasing the Jack Smith report. Let's tune in to Donald Trump.
Brian, go ahead.
Yes. Happy New Year, by the way.
Thank you.
We have some breaking news. You may not be aware of this, but it looks like Cannon has blocked the DOJ from releasing the Smith report until further court proceedings. Get your thoughts on that.
That's a big story.
Yeah.
So, if I get it right, the fake witch hunt started by the DOJ having to do with books and records, and Biden had many more, and he wasn't protected by the Presidential Records Act, I was. But all of that fake stuff that took the lives of people, I mean, literally destroyed people. People are destroyed because of what they did. Destroyed. But we got to be president.
Yeah! That's true, Trump.
But Biden did it for 40 years. He did it when he was a senator. That was illegal. And they ruled it was illegal. How about that? They said, it's illegal, but he's unfit to stand trial. So he can stand and be president of the United States, but the prosecutor found that he's unfit for trial. I was going to use that as a major talking point, but I never got to use it because all of a sudden I had a new candidate who was also sort of unfit to stand trial, right? But so what you're saying is that the judge just blocked the... So Cannon was thrown off the case. They dropped their appeal because he had no case. They dropped all of that, the lawsuits against us. They lost the lawsuit. So this is deranged Jack Smith. So he dropped the lawsuits. He was told to by the DOJ because they had no lawsuit. They lost in court in front of a very strong and a very brilliant judge. They lost in court, and that pertained to other cases in other courts. So he wanted to do a report just before I take office, probably. So he'll do like a 500-page report, and it'll be a fake report just like the investigation was a fake investigation. And I said, well, wait a minute. This guy was thrown off in disgrace. In disgrace. He's going back to The Hague or wherever they're going to send him. In disgrace. Because he failed so badly. Because it was a fake case against a political opponent. They thought they were going to use this to beat me. So what you're saying is, I'm just hearing that they're not allowed to issue the report. So if they're not allowed to issue the report, that's the way it should be. Because he was thrown off the case in disgrace. Why should he be allowed to write a fake report? It'll only be a fake report. That's great news. Good.
And if I can just follow up real quickly, you want to comment?
Wow, absolutely crazy. Now, I wanted to talk about this major bombshell. We have great news. Trump reacts to judge blocking release of the Jack Smith's final report.
All right, so you heard Kayleigh talking about the breaking news point that came up during the news conference. Well, here it is. Moments ago, during that news conference with President-elect Trump, he was asked about this happening. Judge Eileen Cannon blocked special counsel Jack Smith from releasing his report on his election case against Trump. I want to bring in now Justice correspondent David Spunt to catch us up on the facts of all of this. So we got the kind of a one-line report on this. Fill it in for us, David.
Well, Harris, it's a 3-page order from federal judge Eileen Cannon down in Florida. Ironically, it came on the docket a few minutes after President-elect Trump was praising Judge Cannon and saying that she had the courage to handle the case the way she did. But the bottom line is this regarding this breaking news. Special counsel Jack Smith, who's going to be out of a job in just a few days because the Justice Department...
He's going to be out of a job? Guys, that's great news. Finally, we don't have to see this guy's freaking face anymore. Thank the Lord. I'm so tired of this guy. Holy crap.
Cannot prosecute a sitting president, will release, or at least plans to release, 2 volumes of a report. The first is the election interference case that he brought against then former president, now President-elect Trump. The other is the classified documents case. Smith failed at both of those for different reasons, so neither of those went to trial. Now Jack Smith wants to have his parting word with a report. It's not unusual for special counsels to put out reports. This is a bit unusual in this case because the subject of both reports, Harris and everyone there on the couch, is the president that's going to be taking the oath of office in less than 2 weeks. So Judge Cannon told the Justice Department to hold off from releasing the report until the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals makes some sort of decision. What's not clear, and I want to be clear, is if that means both volumes of the report. And speaking to sources, I'm told that DOJ is holding off right now on releasing any parts of the report because they don't know exactly what this order means. So we're told Jack Smith is preparing a lengthy, voluminous report in 2 sections, 2 volumes, and Judge Cannon in this 3-page order says that the DOJ is being told to hold off on releasing any reports until the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals weighs in.
So is the Judge Cannon like actually on Trump's side on this one? Wow, I never thought a judge would actually side with Trump.
Harris.
Just real quickly.
Just from what my understanding.
And forgive me if I missed this in your reporting from even earlier, but what is the time period for something like that?
Yeah.
Could that kind of an appeal happen before January 20th?
Good point.
Yeah, absolutely, it could. What I'm being told by sources is the classified documents case, that's still an active prosecution because Walt Nauta and Carlos de Oliveira, Trump employees, are still being charged there. Of course, they could be pardoned after he takes the oath of office. So that part of the report regarding the classified documents may come out later. The January 6th election interference, the whole case in Washington, D.C., that is gone. That is history. So we presumably could see that report sooner than the classified documents section. But I think DOJ right now, specifically the special counsel, is trying to figure out how to respond to the judge, and we may get some more clarity later.
Great reporting as always, David Spunt. Thank you very much. I want to bring in Fox News legal editor Carrie Urban. So, Carrie,
she's
we've
good.
all been watching to see what this would be.
She has a lot of law experience, so this is a good person to listen to, guys.
Initial reaction from the incoming President Trump was that this is really big news. Now, he often will say that if something's a victory. What would be victorious for him in this?
For these reports not to be released. Now, I have a couple of thoughts on this. One, as David mentioned, there are 2 reports, one pertaining to the classified documents case and one pertaining to the January 6th case. On the classified docs, Harris, I don't know how the Department of Justice, in good conscience, could release that at all, given the fact that there are still 2 defendants in that case whose case is going forward. So to release that report to the public as their case is active, I think would be fundamentally unfair and very prejudicial to their case as that moves forward. Now, of course, Donald Trump could get into office and he could pardon those 2, but it doesn't change the fact that their case is alive and active, and offering to the public pages and pages of information would, of course, be prejudicial to them. On the January 6th case, I would argue that Jack Smith has already issued that report. He did so in the beginning of October when he issued that 165-page filing with Judge Chutkan. I think people perceive that as an attempt to influence the election, since he was effectively regurgitating everything we already knew. So that volume 2, that other report about January 6th, is basically going to be identical to what he had has been releasing for the last few years. So yes, it is big news that Judge Cannon said, wait, we're going to pause on issuing these reports at all in total as we work out, this, we figure out what we're going to do because there is an active case with these two defendants. But she could delay it long enough till inauguration, then we see what would happen there.
So just real quickly, you made the same note that I did about Jack Smith. And
I'm just doing a little bit of live research right now, guys. It does look like Judge Cannon was appointed by Donald Trump. U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon was appointed to the federal bench by former President Donald Trump and future President-elect Donald Trump. Let's call him President-elect right now. She is a Colombian-born American lawyer. You know what's crazy is also Judge Merchan. I mean, I'm not trying to, say anything that's wrong with not being an American-born person. A lot of people aren't. Melania Trump's not American-born. Elon Musk's not American-born. But Judge Merchan's also not American-born. Donald Trump appointed this Colombian-born American lawyer. So Trump married a Slovenian-born Melania, and he also appointed a Colombian-born American. So why are people labeling Trump as racist? Because he's literally appointing people and literally marrying an immigrant. You know what I mean? It's like, why do people say that Trump is, not in favor of immigrants? Judge Cannon blocks release of special counsel's final report on Trump. So yeah, it looks like Judge Eileen Cannon, who's actually a Trump appointee, is actually helping out Trump with Jack Smith. It's very interesting. So let me know your thoughts down below with Judge Eileen Cannon, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.